So you made it through the intro and here you are still watching, so I assume you're going to try to start your handyman business. Now, you can just totally skip this episode right here if you are absolutely certain that this is what you're going to do and you know that there's a market in your town. And little hint, guys, there's a market in your town. I can guarantee you that. But some of you are going to want to go ahead and do a market demand analysis. And all that is a fancy way of saying you might want to go find out whether or not they need handymen in your town. And like I said, they do. Skip to the next video if you want, but if you want to do a market demand analysis, this video is going to show you how to do that. And one of our goals is going to be to identify the underserved markets in our town. So this might be property managers, this might be real estate agents, it might be insurance companies, could just be regular homeowners, maybe fancy rich homeowners, we don't know. But we're going to try to identify what the underserved markets are. We're going to develop a really simple method for getting that data collected, and we're going to talk about which data to collect and where to collect it at. So how are we going to get the data in the first place? Well, I think the simplest method is going to be simply to ask for the data from the people who have the data. And the data we're trying to collect is simply, is this town in need of another handyman service? So we're going to start calling or emailing or texting. We're going to communicate with as many potential clients as we can. And what are some of the places we can go to do this? Well, we can go to the Chamber of Commerce, the SBDC locally, a lot of other business organizations that you're going to find locally that you can just Google. Go to property managers, realtors, go to just regular businesses up and down Main Street in person, go to all the social media groups, especially HOAs. Definitely check out your HOAs and go to your local hardware stores. And this may include Home Depot and Ace Hardware and Lowe's, but really focus on those teeny tiny little hardware stores too, the ones that are not part of chains. They're often much more willing to work with you and talk to you, share information with you, and maybe even take your business card and your business info and pass it out to other people who are looking for a handyman. Okay, so we know we're going to go and approach all of these people and we're going to survey them, but when we go to survey them, what exactly are we going to ask? What's the information we're looking for? Because you want to make sure you get all this collected all in one nice easy phone call, email, or in-person visit. So some of the things you're going to ask for is, of course, do you need a handyman? Is it easy to find one or not? Number two, if and when you find a handyman, can they usually get to you quickly enough for your needs, or are you finding that you can get a handyman but you have to wait forever? And as long as you've got them in a good conversation, now's a great time to ask them about pricing. Ask them what they consider to be too high or too low, or what current prices they're paying right now, and then you don't have to go back and do a competitive market analysis either. Ask them some details about what services they are and are not able to find. Some of them may be able to find a handyman for really simple, unskilled labor, but they're not able to find a handyman for the more complex jobs. And then finally, at the end of this conversation, please just give them an open door to discuss whatever they want. Don't forget to stop talking and just say, hey, what would you like to let me know? Now that you know that I'm considering opening up a handyman service here in this town, what would you like me to know? What are your needs? Specifically, if it applies to me being able to fulfill your needs even better. And that's going to be most of the data that you need to collect here. Now, finally, at the very end, I want to point something out to you. You should ignore everything that you just heard. Everything these people tell you, I don't care what they say. There aren't enough good home service providers anywhere you go. They're going to tell you that they need the prices to be lower. They're going to tell you that they need faster service. They're going to tell you all of these things. The only thing not to ignore is if every single person you call says, you're the 10th handyman to call me this week. I don't need any services. I have a great handyman. I'm not interested in you, and I never will be. If you get that response over and over and over, then I suppose maybe your town doesn't need one. But otherwise, ignore most of this and just understand that if you can go in and you can provide them with the kind of service they've never received for a fair price, if you can impress them and really take care of their problems quickly, efficiently, and like a professional, they will hire you back over and over and over again. So ignore everything, start your business, and run it solid, man. And that actually finishes up our market demand analysis. There's not much to it. This is just your way of quickly double-checking that there is room for you in your local market. So, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, and I will see y'all on the very next video.